Hello friends, you're watching India Today Tech and we have a mystery box from Huawei. We have just received it. So let's quickly take it out of the box. I think it is a new smartphone from Huawei that will be launching soon. But okay, so it is the Honor 7X. Huawei is going to launch the Honor X pretty soon, and this is a successor to the Honor 6X that was launched with dual cameras. So this logo tells me that it will also have dual cameras, and since the phone has already been launched in China, we know some of its specs. So here is, okay, there is another box, or probably this is the phone itself. So the design is very similar to the Honor 8 Pro that was launched this year. It has a unibody design, but only difference seems to be the dual cameras are now popping out of the body. As you can see, it has a matte black finish to it. The design of the Honor 8 Pro was very good. We loved the design on the Honor 8 Pro, and this was the design we also saw on the Honor 9i as well. And this has been given to the Honor 7X. So the legacy continues, but let's take a look at the other box contents as well. This doesn't seem to be the retail box that you will get when you purchase it from Amazon, but anyways, we'll still check out all the contents in the box. So here we have a travel adapter with 2 ampere of output rating. Then we have the USB micro USB cable. So it's not a Type-C port, but it's a pretty long cable, as I can see. So probably you won't get earphones with the Honor 7X, or you may get them depending on what the retail box will look like. Anyways, let's power up the device. The Honor 7X, as I said, is the successor to the Honor 6X that came with dual cameras, but this time around it also has a bezel-less design. It is an 18:9 screen, as you can see, which is similar to the Honor 9i, and I think the only difference now looks like it doesn't have dual front cameras which were present on the Honor 9i. Looks, so far it has been the same bezel-less design and dual camera game that every smartphone manufacturing is playing right now, and that is the trend, and this is no different. Before we take a look at the software and the phone itself, let's take a deep dive into the specifications of the smartphone. The phone has a 5.93 inches of display with full HD plus resolution and is topped by Corning Gorilla Glass. The phone runs Android 7.0 Nougat with EMUI 5.1 on top. As for storage, the phone comes in 32, 64 and 128 GB of storage variants with 4 GB RAM across all the variants. At the back there is the dual cameras, but this time around the main sensor is a 16 megapixel camera alongside a 2 megapixel sensor. At front the phone has an 8 megapixel camera. The Honor 9i is powered by a Kirin 659 chip, while the 6X was powered by 655. It is an octa-core chip which has a Mali T830 MP2 GPU, which is the same as the 6X. Let's take a look at the SIM slot on the device. It's a hybrid SIM slot, which means you cannot use both the SIMs together if you want to expand the storage. Again, let's take a look at the ports on the device. At the bottom you have a single speaker, a micro USB port and a 3.5mm audio jack. On the right there is the volume key and the lock key, and at the top there is a secondary microphone. At the back you have dual cameras coming out of the smartphone like binocular lenses, accompanied by a single LED flash. The fingerprint sensor, like on the Honor 6X, is also placed at the back. The design is surely similar to what we saw on the Honor 8 Pro. There are the antenna lines, and it's a unibody design, which means that you cannot remove the battery. Also at front there seems to be a 2.5D curved glass, and it's a Corning Gorilla Glass, but we don't know the exact number yet. Also, as we tested the build quality on the Honor 9i, the Honor 7X seems to be made out of similar material, but then again we'll only be able to tell you after extensive use if the phone is built to last. Okay, now let's take a look at the phone's software, which is very similar to other Huawei phones. It's the EMUI 5.1, and please note that Huawei may not upgrade the Android version on this phone to Android 8.0 Oreo. The touchscreen on the phone seems to be pretty smooth, and the display quality as well seems to be very nice. Let's watch a video on the device and take a look at the video quality that the phone can render. So display on the Honor 7X seem to be pretty nice. It's a glossy display and it does have narrow viewing angles, but the color reproduction is very good. The brightness also seems to be ample, though we would need to test it in outdoor conditions to let you know how it performs. Also, since it's an 18:9 aspect ratio, there will be black borders left out on the corners if you're watching a YouTube video, and there is no way you can stretch it to fill the screen. As you would see, the video appears like this in a normal 16:9 display, but there will be borders on the corners if you watch it on this aspect ratio. Now let's check the camera quality on the Honor 7X, since that is the main feature apart from the 18:9 display. So here we see that the autofocus on the smartphone is pretty fast. It locks onto the focus very neatly and very accurately, and it's also very fast, but there is a slight shutter lag if you compare it with many other smartphones in this price segment. The colors captured by a smartphone look to be accurate, but then again the details are not that great. There's certainly noise in the photo, as you can see. So the purpose of putting a 2 megapixel camera beside the main 16 megapixel sensor is to give it the bokeh mode. There is a separate wide aperture mode, and then there is a separate portrait mode, and even in the portrait mode there is a beauty level that you can adjust, and the bokeh disable or enable mode. We have said that in the Honor 9i's review as well, that it's a pretty confusing software if you want to use portrait mode while using these modes, and Huawei should simplify the software instead of just going on putting cameras on their smartphones. So ergonomically, the Honor 7X is not a bad phone at all. It does have a big screen, but the edges are rounded, and it's made in such a way that it's not wide but narrow and tall, so you can grip it in one hand. And of course, using with one hand is not easy, but then again it's not very difficult either. I can reach the drop down menu and still keep the phone very stable. However, having been said that, the advantages of an 18:9 screen haven't been fully utilized by Honor. The software could have a few tricks to utilize the full display, as some of the apps don't really take the full screen area. There's only few of them, mostly the stock apps, that go full screen. And talking about the apps, there are a lot of them, including some from Honor and some third-party apps that clutter the phone's UI, which has been the case in most of the Honor smartphones that run the Emotion UI, and we have seen that it was only the Honor 8 Pro that was able to pull off such a heavy software. We'll be doing the full testing in the coming days, and we'll be putting up a video review of this phone, so make sure you subscribe to our channel. Also hit the thumbs up button if you have liked this video. Thank you for watching.